Oh, man.
Hey, old man on the mat crew. This is Tony Jones coming to you with another great episode of Old Man on the Mat. Guys, like I always say, I'm really fired up about today. I'm fired up about every day, man. I figured our ages, let me stop saying ages. At our experience level. I'm trying to coin that new phrase, man. But, at our experience level in life, you know what? You got to be happy about something. You got to wake up and be cheerful and be excited. I'm not trying to be Mr. Motivational, happy-go-lucky guy, but seriously, you got to be excited about something. And I think everyone out there has some some love to shine and all that kind of fun stuff. But guys, today I'm really fired up for the guest we have coming on today. This guy, he's out there in Shreveport, Louisiana. He has a veteran-owned school, which is very important. And once again, brother, I'm excited for you. His school name is Bomber Jiu-Jitsu. So with that, I'm gonna give you guys Greg Washington. How you doing, brother?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
Still breathing and kicking.
Yes, sir.
But you're a veteran. I appreciate everything you guys do, man. You know what? I appreciate the service you've done. What branch of the military are you in from?
Army.
Good stuff, man. Like I always tell guys, man, I didn't go into the services, but you guys did. Without you guys, we'd have nothing, and that's for real. Appreciate you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
But you're out there in Shreveport, Louisiana, with all the alligators and all that fun stuff. Now, what started your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey, man?
Man, I ended up working on a TV series with a stunt coordinator who was a boxer, and he had us learn a lot of boxing and things like that. And he kept watching me. He's like, "Man, you should pick up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu." And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So when I got back home after the show, I looked up a couple of schools, and a lot of the adverts were for kids. And I was like, oh, well, this would be something I could do with my little boy. Yeah, let's look into it. So I called around a few gyms here, and the first one to pick up the phone was Carlos Machado Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
And the guy that picked up the phone was so nice, like Mr. Rogers nice. And so I was like, man, I want to meet this guy. So I went in, and just the way they were with my son, I was like, yeah, we're doing this. So, I mean, you get the bug when you start doing it, you're just like, all right, sticking with it.
There you go. So your son, did he join with you also? He started before you, or you just jumped in? Your son came with you?
We started at the same time. He, of course, when he became a teenager, he wants to do everything but train. He wants to do everything but, he's teenage. 100% teenager right now.
Yep.
So he kind of slacked off a bit, but I stuck with it.
And if I understand correctly, you're a brown belt, and you started your own dojo as a brown belt.
Yeah. We kind of had a shakeup. Our professor ended up moving to Atlanta.
Okay.
And the vibe at the gym started to change. And so one of the black belts I was training with, we looked at each other and we were like, man, do we want to be here anymore? And we lucked out. There's a local business owner here named Mark Yon that was really great. He had a facility already set up, and he gave me a call, and he was like, man, if you want to come and train, I got plenty of mats, come out here. And so we invited some of the guys we were training with, and we ended up having 10 show up that first day just to train with us in this random spot.
Wow.
And so me and that black belt looked at each other, and I was like, bro, are we doing this? And he was like, I think so. And so 3 days later, we started our own gym.
3 days later?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Holy cow. So how was your journey coming through the martial arts? You know what I mean? When you first started in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, was it tough? Or was it just something you just, gravitated towards the whole thing?
I feel like it's the same thing for everybody when they get into anything. You're a fish out of water. And there's always that and I think it's changed as far as our gym's concerned. But them old days, I think Shreveport for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu came from MMA gyms.
Right.
So it's rough. It was no joke. They're going balls to wall. And like I said, the Mr. Rogers aspect of my first professor lasted until I signed the contract.
Gotcha.
And then that went away. And then it was go time. And so I had Army combatives kind of teaches you enough to get yourself into a lot of trouble.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you think of every aggressive white belt you ever met, I was that guy times 20.
Spazzing out.
Well, yeah, because I thought I'm invincible. until like the little nerdy guy that does tech hemmed me up and pretzeled me, and I'm just like, I have to learn this.
Right?
I have to. So yeah, I started a little late. I feel like I started at 38,
Oh man,
but
that's not
it's
late.
kind of it felt late to me. It felt
Gotcha.
because you meet that 20-year-old little wrestler that's a monster, just destroying
Everybody.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute, did this little girl in the pink gi just triangle me?
Right.
So it's humbling. It's always
Oh
humbling. And I
yeah.
think that was the big aspect to me too, feeling humble. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you go in with your ego and your accolades that you've acquired in life, and then you get
Yep.
into that, and you're like, man, the mats don't let you lie about who you are.
You ain't said nothing but a word. I like that. Yes, I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. I love it, man. Because just listen to you talk about your experience. That was basically mine. I've been in martial arts since I was 8, and got a couple different black belts, couple different arts, and I jumped in basically like you. I jumped in. I think it was 50 when I started.
Yeah.
51 when I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I didn't think I was gonna run over anybody, but I thought I knew I can hang. I can hang. No, 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 no.
And like they meet you where you are. Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
what you're bringing today? Okay, I got you.
Yep. Exactly, man. Oh man, I was in a class today, man. I'm telling you, it was a rough class, and that was no joke. Right before I got on with you, man, I'm over at Lake County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a checkmate place, and
Okay.
my gosh, I know how you feel, man. I'm too old for this stuff. I say it every day, but I go back, right?
Love it. Yeah, we literally made a shirt that the front of it says that's not gonna work. And then the back of it says I know.
That's awesome.
So like wearing in the tournaments, it's so demeaning to people, but then they read the back and they laugh about it. It's so good.
That's good stuff, man. Oh my gosh. Now, what do you like most about it? Because when I came into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I thought everybody, excuse my French, everybody was a dick. Because all the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys I run into, their stuff didn't stink until I ran into these guys. They were like, your instructor, Mr. and Mrs. Nice Guys.
Right.
Now, what was your experience? How do you feel about all that?
Man, it was funny because it's all encompassing. I've always, in the way I even share it to people that we have walking our school now, I'm like, man, you will meet people of all walks of life that walk through this door. And then once they're in, whatever they were outside goes away. And they're here. Like, it's so great. I have I have a lot of cops that come to our noon classes. And man, they'll come in and you got a lot of little smokies in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And they walk in smelling like weed, and those cops could care less. They're just there to train.
That's awesome, man.
And
that
so
is cool.
I think that was the aspect. It's all inviting. It's all comforting. It's all in the community that I want to build around me.
Yeah.
Mixed in with choking out your friends.
Choking out your friends, man. And I'm with you. After every class, man, I'm getting a mat. I call myself everyone's, rest round. You know what I mean? These guys just beating the crap on him, but they're good friends. That's unique about this, man.
And I mean, I think once you start building that environment, they have people that are like, oh man, my roof fell in because of bad weather. And everybody shows up to help. People's cars break down on the side of the road. There's 50 people that are like, hey, I'll come and get you.
Yeah. And they really want to help you. You're a brother with a brother or sister. It's a really unique environment, man.
Absolutely.
Now, have you done any other kind of martial arts out there before Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or since or anything like that?
I boxed for a bit. So it was a totally different transit, different footwork.
Yeah.
Different. You can't blade yourself the same way in jiu-jitsu because someone will eat you up.
Yep.
And then I lucked out that like my first professor was a big MMA guy. So I got to train a lot of MMA, which was really cool. And I think it made my no-gi jiu-jitsu more solid. And just the idea of thinking like, you veer away from sports jiu-jitsu and be like, hey, if you want to take someone's will away from them, do it this way. And I think, learning the MMA, where to get strikes from and things like that, just opened up my eyes to jiu-jitsu. So that's been really cool. So yeah, I don't know. I think I've been in a lot of neat circles with a lot of badass people.
Wow, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah. So that's been cool.
Man. So but you were raised out there in Shreveport. Was it somewhere else you were born and raised, or just out there?
Ooh, born and raised in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, still in the area then. Okay, so that's your home, man. So
Oh,
now,
yeah.
does everybody know you from before you were in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu till now? Do they look at you like something's changed?
Oh yeah, yeah. You have that. Everyone. Nobody knows what it is, so they're like, "Oh, you in the MMA stuff?" And you're like,
Yep.
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. But oh man, I ain't gonna mess with you. So it's a really funny, like, you get stamped certain things in certain circles. And if people don't know about it, they really do think you're a bad man. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to survive, man.
Right. They don't know what you go through every day on the mat. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh man. So that's cool. I have friends that think the same thing. And if they saw me on the mat every day, they'd be like, this guy? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
this guy's
we laugh so much now because like the black belt I have under my gym, we've been friends for the past 6 years. So he'll hear people be like, "Man, that brown belt, man, he bad." And they're like, he's like, "Greg?" I'm like, why you say it like that?
right. What do you mean, man?
Right.
But I liked what you said earlier. You hit it on the head. You'd have all walks of life in there. You have the quote. I'm doing quotation fingers here. The young girls who look like they're just they don't know anything. They'll tie you all up in kind of knots, man. It's crazy. You have different walks of life, and it's cool, man.
Man, we have a female, and I'm gonna brag about her on here. Her name's Abigail Jones. She's a correctional officer.
Okay.
And so, she needed to learn for her job.
Right.
And when she came in, it was last January that she started, and we were still in our baby phase of our gym. So we weren't kind yet. You know what I mean? We weren't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like you say, man, you here, you're gonna get hemmed up. It don't matter who you are.
Right.
And so she just kept sticking with it. And then she'd come every class every day.
Wow.
And so once we realized she was going to be in the room, we're like, hey, we're going to teach you every dirty thing we know.
Nice.
And so she got to her first tournament. And when she went knee on belly on someone that was actually her size, that girl's eyes got so wide and she just shook her head. No.
Not today.
Like done.
Tap, tap.
He was done. And it was so funny because she's strong just by nature. And we've made her just mean. But it's funny because we'll tell everybody you never had it as bad as Jones had it.
Because she came in there and fought with all the guys. She had to.
Yeah. Every 200 plus pounder in the room.
And she stuck it out, man.
She's bad.
Holy cow, man. Does your gym go to a lot of tournaments or no?
We try to, but also we're kind of weird because like it's still now to this point. People are like, so how do I get points for this? I'm like, hey, I know nothing about points.
Okay,
you
good.
Clap hands and pump fists, just go. Like,
right. Let the refs call it. That's their job, man.
Yeah. Like I was like, if you're going the whole 5-minute round, you did something wrong. Like find another step.
Okay, I like that philosophy. Oh man, that's good.
But I think it's that aspect of like, bro, we're getting older.
Yeah.
I don't want 5 minutes with anybody.
Exactly, man. What I used to say, man, back in the day, I would win pretty. Now I will survive ugly. That's it, man. I don't want to be with 5 minutes with nobody. That's crazy. Now you have a lot of older guys in your gym, or are you guys basically the older ones in there?
We lucked out so much. And again, I'm going to brag about him. We have a police officer named Greg Walker. He's 52 years old. Guy is built like Frank Grillo, though, the guy that was in the Marvel movies. I mean, he's in great shape. He gets after. He's such a leader, though. Like, just the way he talks and encourages people. Yeah. But, man, he can get after it.
Wow.
So I think our oldest member is 54.
Okay.
But, like, they're 3, 4, 5 classes a week guys, though.
Oh, wow.
And we'll joke at our own little section about, man, like I'm old, man, that 20-year-old was eating me up.
Yeah.
But if you're in front of that 20-year-old, he don't know it.
Right?
So it's pretty cool. It's a cool environment, man. I'm really glad what we're creating.
But you know what? I see that. I see that across the board. I've been in different martial arts and coming into I would say the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. You see a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that where, you know what, young or old, you're facing each other. It's, you know what, one of us is going to survive, one of us not,
Yep.
but in a friendly way. You know,
50
there's
50,
no,
man.
yeah, yeah. There's no being nice. I'm assuming when I got on the max, I'm the oldest guy at our gym. I thought everybody was going to be nice to me.
Right. No. You're on. Like I said, once you get there, you are stripped. I don't care about your age, color, sex. You're on the
You're
mat.
getting beat up.
Yeah, everybody catch it.
Man, that's good stuff. See, listen to your story, the way you started at brown belt. That's similar to my instructor, Carlos. He started his own, I think he was a brown belt starting his own school too, man. But
That's awesome.
You know, but a lot of guys, I think, do that, right? At brown belt?
I think that's kind of the time where you know what it is, though, because it's something I think about every day about as you progress.
Mhm.
You know, if you do it on track, it's every 2 years.
Okay.
If you fast track, it really ain't that much. You fast track. You're still probably in it a year and a half. So I feel like once you get to about purple, you really you're like, man, I probably learned every position.
Mm-hmm.
I probably learned damn near every submission from some sort of, viewpoint. So I think you have to find a way to kind of recharge making the rest of the heel. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Because you've arrived, quote unquote, not arrived, but you know what I mean. At purple, you're there.
Right. I think so. I feel like
Okay.
you're like, all right, I'm getting close, but you're not progressing as much because if you're on the high end of purple belts, brown and black's what's catching you. Everybody else is going through a bad day.
Yeah, right.
So I think you have to start kind of finding a way to re-energize your way forward. And just, perfect timing, I don't know, simpatico, just the way the universe kind of works itself out. We got to open a gym, and I think it was that reshock of revitalizing.
Okay. That's what did it for you. That was that push that you needed kind of thing.
I think so. I think I could have been a real bigger hobby guy if I wouldn't have had that push.
I believe everything happens for a reason.
It was trying to find your own, you learn the notes. Now you're trying to play them your own style.
Okay.
And I think once Bomber Jiu-Jitsu started getting its own style, it made me better at training because I wanted to be able to, you take the structure of an S-mount armbar. And then it's like, all right, how do we remix this? Like, how do we put two things together instead of just one? Because it's weird that like jiu-jitsu isn't you do this move, I do this move, then you do this move, I do this move. Right. It's so flowy.
Yeah.
And we teach it move to move to move. So to me, I was like, man, how do we make it flow better?
Okay.
Because you got to find your signature to it.
Well, yeah.
But I think that was, the push for me was, well, now that we're doing it, let's have our style. Like, let's have a thing that we are getting into.
Okay.
And it's made training a lot more fun. It's made, like, our upper belts, when we all get together, it is the music is loud and people are just doing stuff. It's just so
going
fun.
After it.
Wow. And so that was a really cool revitalization of my excitement about jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
That ladder's a hard ladder, man.
Shoot, you ain't said nothing but a word, man. And every day, and that's no joke, I do say this every day because I'm training probably 4 days a week, and I say it. I'm too old for this, man. But I keep doing it. Because, your body hurts. You go in there and get mauled by these young guys, and you're trying to stay alive for all these rounds. And I still said, man, I'm too old for this shit, man. Excuse my French.
No,
but
man,
you're not. You're not. If you're still on the mat, man. But since we're on this subject, I like the way you're talking about that. Let's follow this through. Now, talk to me. What's your philosophy on each belt going through? You know what I mean? Like a white belt, what should he be doing? Blue belt, what should they be doing? You know what I mean?
Man, so to me, a white belt, just put it like literally right on a sticky note and put it on every mirror in your house. Survive.
Okay.
Because you have to be broken, usually by like spazzy white belts. Upper belts have to break them down. So the idea is survive. But then also get comfortable being on the bottom.
Okay.
Get comfortable with it. When you get your blue belt, start transitioning to the top. Figure out how to get someone flat on the mat because that's how you attack. So in that aspect, you're already comfortable on the bottom. Figure out how to get to the top. If it's getting back on your feet or if it's getting a sweep, just get on top. Don't worry about submitting because you're already going to be a dog in you. Like submissions are going to come naturally because you're a blue belt and you get a weird bullseye put on you.
You ain't saying nothing, bro.
Right? Well, like blue whites want you. They're like,
yes.
Oh, for real? And then you also have gotten that new, like, I will never forget get my blue belt, and I never wanted another belt after that. So, like, you know how they sneakily give it to you. Like, you don't know it's coming.
You don't know it's coming, and bam. Oh, okay.
So when it came, like, we don't do the whole gauntlet of beating you, but every upper belt gets to throw you.
Yeah, that's old judo days, man. We did that back in the day.
But so my deal was we didn't do a lot of stand-up when I first started. So I felt like my soul got crushed when I got thrown for the first time. Like I remember somebody Uchimata'd me and my feet hit the ceiling.
Holy cow.
And I hit the ground and he came down with me and all the air I had in me left my body and I watched the kid bag it up and run off with it. I was funny. And so then after that, you had to roll with everybody.
Yeah.
And once the professor, like, he was already a hard roll.
Yeah.
But when he just dismantled me, he was like, wait till you get your purple belt. And in my mind, I was like, never.
Can I quit right now?
Right. So I feel like there's more of an understanding that comes with blue. Is there's a target on your back, so be a dog.
I like that.
Because it's the last time you're going to get away with doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go for everything because this is it. Like Survive just got put in another mode.
Okay.
And then when it comes to purple, I feel like start really defining the kind of circular things like armbar, triangle, omoplata, things like that.
Okay.
Like really sweeten it. Like understand that these positions are everywhere. And start really digging into that because like I said, you're no longer blue. You don't get to go wild anymore. But you're expected to, I don't know, my dad would say, have a little damn sense to you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you can't get away with being wild anymore.
Okay. You're more controlled and you control the fight and you move them this way when you want to go that way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so really start defining that. But honestly, if you have an academy that allows it, try to get at least one class a week where you just teach.
Okay. At purple belt, you're talking, right?
I think so. Really understand, the basics.
Okay.
So teach them to people. Because to me, I lucked out. I got to start teaching as a 3-stripe white belt. I honestly believe it was torture.
Really? Doing white belts as new people? Is that what it is?
I will never forget the little girl on my first day of teaching raised her hand and she said, "Are you sure this is jiu-jitsu?"
What?
And it ate me alive. Like I was like,
you are my uki right now, little girl. Come here.
Right. Come here. Because she ate me alive. But it's because you're so unsure of yourself.
Yeah.
But you also are learning at such a rate as an adult that you don't realize how much more you're taking in than kids do. But they identify with colors and they saw my belt was white and their belt was white and they didn't think who it was coming from. Made a lot of sense.
That makes sense, man.
Man, she ate me alive.
Kids are brutal, man. They are brutal, brother.
But they're the best. So the idea of that, I think I got to relearn and re-educate myself on basics early on.
Okay. You're teaching it, you're learning it too again, or you're seeing those small holes or the little things that make a big difference.
Yeah, and then finding a way to explain. If you can break it down Barney style to somebody else, they've got it and you've got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you start hearing someone teach you something that's overly complicated, you're like, nope, you don't really know this subject.
Got it. Oh, man. So purple belt should be teaching somewhere as a start.
I think so. even it's for a little bit, even if it's adopting a white belt and teaching them something basic.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now that I'm sitting at Brown, man, I don't understand that it's still a long, long ladder.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Like, I think that's been a really cool thing of seeing the world of jiu-jitsu slows down because a lot of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it's like looking at something in slow motion, and there's something really fun about that.
Now, do you still, as a brown belt, you still have your basic technique that you learned at white belt that you still do? That's one of your favorites or something like that, your go-tos.
Oh yeah. An arm triangle, if I can hit it on you, I feel like it's so soul crushing.
Yeah.
Especially now because like I kind of one arm all of my anything that goes around the neck, I try to finish it with one arm.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I feel like it's a really it's humbling. It's humbling when it happens to you. Attitude adjustment. And then knee bar to step over arm bar. I love it so much. Especially now because I feel like I pass completely across the hips, go to the knee on belly, and then step around, hit that arm bar.
Wow.
So fun. Wow. And it was like day one, I just dialed into it and thought, oh, I want to live in this world. Also, when I got my blue belt, I became a deviant and got into wrist locks.
The monsters of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
So if I see him, I'm taking it. Like, I want your wrist.
Oh, man, wrist lock.
They're so horrible. Like, I have a buddy in LA.
They are.
And he's like, that's so cheap, bro. And I'm like, whatever. Whatever.
So cheap. Did you tap? Tap?
Right. So
I remember getting the first done a wrist lock to me. It was the guy. I probably had a good 50 pounds on him, little guy, and I'm being Mr. Nonchalant and rolling. Next thing you know, I'm kicking and tapping. I was like, that little bastard. He did a wrist lock on me. I hate him.
Like I said, me and my professor are such good friends. Yeah, I was talking to him on the phone before a tournament, and he was like, bet you won't wrist lock that guy. I was like, I'll be right back. A minute and a half, I called him back. He was like, what happened? I said, wrist lock. He was like, shut up. I was like, the video is coming to you right now.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And he was like in tears laughing. But that guy at wrist lock, the rest of the tournament would look at me and shake his hand like his wrist was still hurt.
He's like, I hate you. You know that. Yeah. Can you teach me that, though?
Yeah, my name's on a list somewhere, probably.
Right. That's awesome, man. But you know what? The way you talk about this stuff is really good because you started at a place of white belt. You stayed there, and now you've jumped into the teaching.
Yeah.
Man, your mindset. I just listened to the stuff you're saying. It's really cool, man.
Nice, man. I appreciate that.
No, it's truth, man. I don't blow sunshine up nobody's butt, man. I tell the truth, brother.
Which is also the joy of being an old man.
Right? You don't care anymore.
You get to say it, and you're like, "This isn't gonna affect me at all." I'm
right. I'm still gonna sleep like a fat baby tonight, not even caring. You know?
Yeah. How do you sleep at night? Incredible. That's how.
Right? Incredible, and with the fan on.
on a bed that I can afford because I'm.
That's
old.
Right. Exactly, brother. Oh man. Now you have a nutrition company also called Good Tings.
Good Tings, all Good Tings.
Yes, Good Tings. Oh my gosh, tell me about it, brother.
So it spawned from really I lucked out. I made a great friend on this show I worked on, and he spoke a lot of patois when he's just kind of sitting around, guy from the UK. And so he kept saying tings. Everything was tings. And I was like, oh, I'm still that. I like that word. So I had an idea to want to build community and kind of hit pre-COVID where people are still at home, not really, leaving the house, starting to gain weight and all these other things. So I was like, man, I'm starting this company. So I got into it, started taking online customers and really just building health and fitness programs for them, but also setting up weekly calls where we can get into mindset stuff. And it was just like, I'm huge on building mind, body, and spirit to making it the best it could possibly be. Even if you're not the best you're at right now, it all starts with the mind. So if you can get past what's stopping you from going to the gym, or what's causing you to sit and veg, or what's doing that. And you can get to the root of that and rebuild that mindset and reframe these negative thoughts that people have about themselves. Man, the sky's the limit. So all good things came out of that.
I like that. All good things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you do meal plans for everybody, and or do you do like training and all the whole gambit?
Man, and it's like I'm in your pocket all day long. So I'll hook you up to this kind of app that's it's out of its beta testing now, so it's really intuitive, but it connects me immediately. So I will force you for 3-4 months to log everything you're putting in your body, to log every single workout, to log, uh, thoughts that are kind of slowing you down from getting things done. But I
Okay.
automatically get whatever you put in the app. So I can literally adjust you as you're going.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, it's so good. So, I mean, it's like having a personal trainer with you all day long, but it's about encouragement. So I'm not ever going to be the personal trainer who's like, well, you're not doing the things you need to be doing. It's literally like, hey, man, let's get to that. Let's see what's happening right now. And then, people are so good at thinking that there is a standard operating procedure of how they go through life. And I'm never going to get that because I'm not an optimum type person.
Right.
It's like, man, you don't have to be all the time. That's impossible. Nobody can do anything for, every day, 24/7 of their life. So it's like, fine, let's find 3 things that can get you through this hump today. Like, what are 3 things, if you could knock off your list, the greatest things ever? And you list those 3 things. And do you think you can hit those today? Be honest with yourself. And if they say no, it's like, great. What are 3 things that'll make you feel good today? Whether it's going for a walk, getting water, talking to your parents, talking to your loved one, whatever it is. And it's like, cool, get those 3 things done. You've now developed wins. And once you start building on wins, you're a winner.
Wow. I like that a lot. We do this thing. Well, I used to do this thing. Me and a couple of my students back in the day, we called putting your trophies on the shelf. It's kind of thing where you have those bad days. You think back, like, man, I won at this. I did great at that. I did good at this. So no, I'm not a piece of crap. Whatever it is you're putting in your head.
Absolutely.
I did this before. I can do this again.
Absolutely.
I like that, man. So you combine the whole mind, body, spirit with the bomber jiu-jitsu and the good things.
Building communities, baby.
Man, you sure are, man. Do you ever go on the road anywhere? Seriously, do you ever travel to tournaments and out of state or somewhere you can talk about your nutrition company also?
Absolutely. Yeah, I try to get out as much as I can to, because there's so many different, you don't want just the community to be your block. I feel like once it's your block, it's quiet. But I want to build something that just goes everywhere. So even if good things may not be your flavor, it may not be too much, but you could find your own with those same elements, in it. And I think that's kind of what we aim for. So yeah, I want to travel. I want to do all things. So I try to just connect everywhere I go.
Okay. And you're in the, if I understand this correctly, you're in the movie industry?
Yes, sir. Film and television.
Okay. Man, so you work on some good stuff out there.
Louisiana's done really well with we got in on the tax incentive deal before Georgia did. So Georgia actually took our plan and copied it, and it's worked out for Georgia, and it's been great. But Louisiana still gets a lot of work, man. It's really cool.
That is cool. I think it was a year and a half ago. I went to Savannah on my own, just went out there for a trip, and I'm bouncing around, end up walking on a movie set.
Yeah.
Everyone's standing around by the gates, and my philosophy is, if I'm not supposed to be there, they'll tell me to leave. So I walked through there, dinked around. It was the greatest scene. I was loving it, man.
Man, my dad's statement growing up is walk into a place like you own it. You'll be amazed by what doors open for you.
Exactly. I've gotten in concerts like that, going through the back doors and stuff for the years, man. Act like you belong there, man.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff. Now, what got you in the movie industry?
Man, this goes back to grade school. I think I don't know. I did plays. I had a degree in acting. And it was just like lucked out one day. I think I was an extra on the film Ray.
Really?
With Jamie Foxx and everybody else. And for some reason, seeing how the machine worked, I was like, yep, I want to be a part of this. And so after Ray, I did a couple of other films and then went to college with a casting director. And he needed help in extras casting. And I was like, sure, I'll do it. Because I am the king of like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah, right. Always say yes and figure it out later, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I did that and he laughed so hard because I think after like my second film, I just became bitter over because I mean it's basically to get someone to be an extra. It's just sales calls.
Okay.
So you're, hey, we'd love to have you on this film, blah 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 blah. And of course, the same questions you always get asked: what film is it? Who's the stars in it? Am I gonna be next to them? Well, are they even
really? Is that what they ask?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are they even gonna see me on camera? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I just need 50 more of you today.
Right. And we're set.
Right. So I kind of got out of that and but I wanted to stay in the business somehow because I wanted to learn its inner workings.
Yeah.
And luckily a guy was like, hey, I need a locations assistant. And I was like, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, well, you'll see. Because if he'd have told me what it meant, I'd have probably been like, nah, bro, we good.
So he did the yes, we can get it done on you.
Oh, yeah. And he gave me the okie doke because, like, locations is the most unforgiving department in film because when it's going right, nobody says anything to you. But when it's going wrong, oh, it doesn't stop.
Oh, man.
So it was one of those things that you had to dial into, and you're just like, okay, well, this could potentially make you very uncomfortable. But as you know, with Jiu-Jitsu, we get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
You have to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely. So it fit. I got to see the world in a different way. And then I was a medic in the Army. So there was some film that was like, hey, we need a medic or we're going to lose our insurance. And I was like, I was a medic in the Army. And so they handed me a fistful of cash and was like, get a kit, be here tomorrow. You're our new medic. And I was like,
okay.
And then I realized if I wanted to learn, it was the best place because only times people bother you is when an emergency happens.
Yeah.
So you can sit and absorb everything in such an unobtrusive way because nobody's afraid that you're trying to position yourself into something. Because you're like, no, I'm just a medic. I'm just a band-aid guy.
You just use it.
I got free school. All the time.
Wow.
And that was great and such an experience. But it was so funny because it almost fell off before it happened.
Really?
This sweet little hair lady one day, I had some guy walk up to me. He's like, hey, can I get an emergency? And I was like, what's the emergency? He's like, no. It's like this powdered drink that like has vitamins in it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that sounds like expensive piss. I don't have that.
Okay.
He did not take that bluntness well at all. And he was ready, he was like, that guy's such a jerk, blah, 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 blah. And this sweet little hair lady was like, I love you. I want you here. Here, I bought you all the stuff that you need that I bet you don't have. And so she basically let me keep that job because she just gave me a hand where most people don't give hands like that.
Wow.
It was so cool, though, because like she didn't have to do that.
Right.
But the fact that she took her time out of what she was doing to do that, forever grateful. So yeah, I've been in the film business for 17 years.
Wow. 17 years, man. If you don't mind me doing the old fan base here or whatever it is, what was the best movie, the biggest movie you've been on?
Ooh, Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh man, okay. That's one of my favorite movies, dude.
So if you go back and watch it, when they kill the vice president and it cuts to that room where Morgan Freeman's in,
yeah,
you can see me on the right. I'm the only person that doesn't flinch when the vice president gets shot.
Oh, dag, really?
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie.
And they're like, why didn't you flinch? I was like, I didn't vote for that dude.
I love it. Why did you flinch? That's perfect. Okay. Nice, man. Are you working on anything big now that you can talk about or no?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to do it and we'll just see how it goes. I'm working on this film called Drowning right now. We are literally in our last couple of days of pre-production. We go to camera on Monday, which is crazy because it is Eclipse Day and it is also my 41st birthday.
Wow. Well, happy early birthday, man. Hope it goes well for you on that day.
Appreciate you, brother.
Wow, man. So you travel a lot with the movie, so you're gone all the time.
Yeah. I'm constantly kind of on the move. I really try now to stay at home. Man, I am so lucky along with building community. It's a part of building family. And
Yeah.
as we get older, we realize, man, we miss out on a lot when we're steady moving.
Yeah,
And
true.
so I'm trying to stop trying to be hard as a moving target. And I just want to be home. I want to be with my family. I want to be with people I love. And I want to be with the community that I'm building. So yeah, I'm trying to pass on a lot of stuff. If it can't keep me sleeping in my bed every night and seeing the people I love in the morning, I don't want to do it.
Well, you know what? You put the time in, you put the sweat in, so you can do it now. You can call your own shots now.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. That's good stuff, man. Now, talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Mhm.
what would you suggest? Let's say an older guy coming in the gym for the first time, never had a lick of martial arts,
Right.
don't know what he's doing. What should his mindset be when he walks in on that mat?
Continue being a blank slate.
Okay.
Don't have any type of trepidation towards it,
Okay.
because man, it's a world that's going to expand the way you think, because you're problem solving at a rate that we don't have the opportunity to live in.
Mm.
Also value your training partners,
Okay.
because they're gonna meet you where you're at. Like, yeah,
Gotcha.
you get those little 20-year-olds that don't know any better, but the majority of people are gonna meet you where you're at, and they're just gonna make you better. They're gonna make you a better version of yourself.
That's awesome, man. I love it, man, because that is the philosophy. Because like I said before, when I first heard of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I went into a few schools, and I did run into a lot of dicks, man. When I say that, I mean they were just, they mean mug you. It's a fight just to try the class, and then you run into that one group like you're talking about, like I did over at Lake County. Man, they will make you better. You were hurt during the class, but after the class is over, you've learned a lot that you can take into the next class with you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Man, that mindset, man. You hit it on the head. Okay. Now, I did something stupid. I say that now after today's class. I went and worked out last night, 11 o'clock at night. And
Okay.
then I went into my 11 o'clock class today training. I felt like crap. You being a nutrition guy, an older guy, what's a good time he should work out? Like, weights and all that stuff, and then going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu the next day. Because I know 11 o'clock at night, I shouldn't have been working out that hard and then trying to get up and train in the morning.
So I don't believe there's an optimum time. I just don't.
Okay.
It's kind of like the same way of fueling yourself. There's not an optimum time to eat. You eat when you eat.
Okay.
I do
Okay.
believe there is a variety in the way you should train if you do both. Push-pull muscles are obviously what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Got to work your push-pulls. Putting yourself in some form of hit where you're compounding exercises together, because that reinforces body movement.
Okay.
So I would definitely, like, if you can try 1 day a hit, 2 days a hit training a week, and like you can literally look it up anywhere hit, and it'll give you a great 30-minute workout.
Gotcha.
And really hit that. I would get into ATP training, so to keep your knees healthy, joints healthy.
What's that ATP training?
Man, it's like stretch. It's just intense stretching.
Okay.
It
Okay.
has
Gotcha.
you stretching in ways that you never really thought about before, but because you're a jiu-jitsu guy and you start feeling your flexibility in your hip flexors, you start having that weird acheness or sciatica pain because you're really getting after it. And it's nice, it's slow, it's not all amped up and crazy, but it has you stretching in ways that you've never thought about stretching before.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take care of yourself better, so you have to fuel yourself with real food. I'm so big about that.
Tell me something about nutrition. I'm glad you just mentioned that, because one of my questions was going to ask you about, what type of foods. Are you a vegetarian? Are you just carnivore, or just everything?
Man, I am a food eater.
Okay, got it.
I eat
I like
food. Because it's funny, because you think about these diets, like, oh, what about the carnivore diet? How do you feel about that? I'm like, man, meat's good for you if it works for your body type. But if you already have certain issues going on with you, maybe just eating meats and cheeses probably isn't the way to go.
Good point.
Same deal with the idea of, being too extreme on any level is just what that is. You can't keep it up. And your body, being the machine that it is, it can't keep it up. Like, yes, protein satiates more in your body. It takes longer to break down. So you will feel full more.
Right.
That is why people lose mad weight on a carnivore diet. They're full a lot more than people that are just eating vegetarian diet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the
Makes
same
sense.
time, it's going to catch up to you, and your system is like, man, I'm tired of passing these steaks all the time.
Yeah.
Whew. And then things start slowing down other places. So, I mean, my big deal is the idea, if you're going to grocery shop, stay on the outside of the grocery store.
Stay out outside. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I heard that before. Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll be good. It'll get you in the right area you need to be. I'm always big about people hitting macros on my program because I build it for them for what they want to do. And like I said, I make adjustments as they're going about their day to day.
Okay.
So that's such a big deal too. And, also have fun with food. Like you shouldn't limit yourself. We only get this one time.
Okay. You're right. You're right. I like that. Okay.
So yeah, man, I'm my big deal is just don't be overly extreme.
Okay. That makes sense though.
Everything in moderation, including moderation.
Okay. Like a guy once said, I'm very consistently inconsistent, so I'm consistent,
Absolutely. Because life is, you lose a family member and you don't realize what depression can be to you.
True.
Until you're drinking a little bit more, eating a lot of cakes, doing all those things. So it's like, cool, then just get back on the path. It's okay to veer off in any way, shape, or form. Again, going back to training too, not everybody can do 4 classes a day, 5 days a week. Some people aren't those people, so it's fine. Don't make that your training schedule.
Okay.
Find what works for you. And don't feel belittled because you're not doing that.
Gotcha. I like that. Yeah.
But at the same time, show up and show out.
Because I know myself personally when I first, because like I said, I've been in other martial arts, black belt, and different things, and I go there, and then I'm extremely humbled. I felt like, dude, I know you're old, but damn, So I felt like crap until I had a good conversation with my coaches. They were like, dude, basically your same philosophy. This is all new, man. You're gonna hurt, you're gonna sweat. Just keep showing up.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Now, I guess you basically told me that, but I want to, I got a question I want to ask you because I love asking, everyone this. What type of life principles do you live by in your personal life? I can almost tell it, but I'm not going to say it. But you just from your mindset, what kind of life principles you take in your daily walk, man?
Ooh, daily deal. Absorb negativity early on, so you get a good stretch of time to wash it all off. I try to absorb the news as soon as I wake up in the morning because the news is written to trigger you.
Yeah.
So I want to get it out. It happens early so I can forget about it later. Love your family, man. You only get them for so long. Pick up the phone, give your family a call, tell your loved ones you care about them in the middle of the day because you don't know. Build community, always. Community is the most important thing ever, and I think we get so caught in our own bubble, we forget about other people.
That's true, man. That is true. You are right on the money there, man.
So, I mean, beyond that, man, show up and show out in any place you're in. Don't wait for the shoulders of giants to stand on. Just stand up. You're a giant.
Okay. Man, I'm telling you, you should see my pads here. I've written down so much stuff you've said.
That's awesome.
Mainly for my T-shirts. No, I'm just joking.
Hey, you make it, send me one.
There you go. Man, Greg, I'm telling you, man, this has been awesome, brother. But before we get out of here, man, tell me, how can anybody reach you, man? Just throw out all your stuff. I want people to get a hold of you about your nutrition, your bomber jiu-jitsu out there in Shreveport. How can everybody reach you, man?
Man, so I'm about to age. So us old people can look up Bomber Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook or Good Tings LLC on Facebook. I mean, I know there's a certain age limit on that. Young folk that don't know nothing about life, can look at me
Right.
on Instagram, Greg Wash 2002, and it'll kind of veer you to everywhere else. Please shoot me a message. Let's talk. Let's communicate. Let's build community. And yeah, man, just keep on keeping on.
All right, brother, man. Hey, old man on the Mac crew. That's been Greg Washington. Greg, I'm telling you, man, you've touched some people out there. I believe that this is why I'm doing this, because I want people to be able to give to each other. And what you've just threw out and all this stuff, man, somebody's learned something. You know
Love
what I
it.
mean?
Love
But
it.
man, I appreciate you more than you know, my brother. And hopefully we can get you on a round two and we get our faces on this screen soon.
Yes, sir. I would love that.
All right, brother. I will be in touch with you. Hey, guys, that's been Greg Washington. Look him up. Find him out there in Shreveport, Louisiana with Bomber Jiu-Jitsu. He's the man. All right, brother. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, man.